Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over the Desolate Grounds Battle Drills map, which will be coming in around 12 hours for right now. So we have seen this map plenty of times before, so I'm going to make a quick guide for basically the different parts of the strategy. Number one, we're going to talk about the pathing. So first of all, you're going to see that each of these fortresses can hold up to 8 members, which in total is basically 32 member slots, but you only have 30 people in your guild. So you're going to want to evenly distribute your members across these fortresses, like 7 into each, and 2 of them will have 8 in them if all of your members are active. And then you're going to think about, okay, how do we connect to each other as quickly as possible? This is the number one top priority in battle drills, because then you'll share the capture bonuses among all of your different fortresses, and you'll also be able to attack anywhere on the map that anyone has access to. So the left fortress and the top fortress, these are going to connect to the left corner, upper corner pathway. Because along this path, as you can tell, there are only going to be small towers, and so it is the easiest to connect to this way. For example, if you try to connect to the bottom or lower right, then you're going to have this antler outpost in the way with the question mark, and this is one of the most powerful towers to defeat other than the mini bosses, and so it will delay you connecting to people. So it's best if you connect through here for the top and left fortresses, and for the bottom and right fortresses, they should connect through the lower right pathway. Again, you only have these small towers along the way. And I'll talk about the teams to run for the towers as well as the passages. I have them all saved in the formations, but first we're just going to talk about the pathing. Okay, now when the bottom and right tower are connected and the left and upper fortresses are connected, now what is considered actually the best way of connecting further is to go down the middle here. Cut down here times this times 10 passage. Take on this one tower here to get a 15 capture bonus, and then do another times 10 of the passages and connect up to here. So the reason why this is considered the optimal strategy is it bypasses the question mark guard. And the question mark guard tower, this is still going to be more difficult to clear than, for example, this other tower that we're going to be attacking. So you're going to connect actually to your members faster, number one. Number two, you also get a big capture bonus from this, plus 15. And in total, you're going to need to rack up the capture bonuses to slot in more heroes into your command center. So it is actually optimal to go down here. But basically, all of your guild need to be on the same page that after you connect to the left and top fortress and right and bottom fortress connect, then you're only going to go after this upper right, basically Desolate Path Tower, and the top fortresses are going to come down times this times 10 passages, and then the right and bottom are going to go along across this times 10 passages, and then you're going to connect here. And then you're all going to be connected. Now from this point on, either you can again go for more capture bonuses by taking on this Desolate Path, or you can begin working on the Strong Guard for getting the buffs. And as for the buffs, you want to pick Energy Flow because, for example, the Lightbearer comp, which is the key boss killing comp, is going to do better with the recovery of energy because it increases the ultimate damage dealt, and you're going to be casting so many ultimates so rapidly in that Lightbearer on the buff tile team that you're going to take much better advantage of the bonus ultimate damage dealt. So energy flow is better, especially also in the bosses, which is going to be a large portion of battle drills. And then for the other one, again, Moment of Glory synergizes perfectly with the Lightbearer rapidly casting your ultimate strategy. But notice, see, the buffs here are not actually too important until you make it to the boss, because it's going to rely on the Lightbearer buff tile team, and that is really a boss killing team. That's not a team you're going to use for other areas of the map. You're not going to waste it on the passages or the stronghold demon. And so until you get to the boss or mini bosses, these buffs won't really come into full effect, but you definitely want it before taking on the mini boss or the main boss. And it will restore, but mainly you're worried about that. It will stack this attack and crit buff every time you cast an ultimate with the Lightbearers. It's insane. So that is the basic pathing, and then you're going to, after you get the capture bonus to slot in all the heroes in your command center, then you're going to begin working on these buff towers, getting the 2 buffs, and then you're going to be attacking the mini boss. Don't attack the mini bosses until you have both of these buffs, and like I said, pick the energy flow and pick the Moment of Glory. Those are the key ones you want to pick for this season of battle drills, because it just synergizes so well with the Lightbearer comp. And then you can attack Shadow Odie and Shadow Bruce. And for both of them, the best team is still the same, which is the Lightbearer double buff tile team. And the thing is, you only have to slot it. If each one of your guildmate or even half of your guild slot in that one team, and you pick up these 2 buffs that we mentioned, you're going to be shredding through these mini bosses and the main boss. You don't need any other boss killing team. And in fact, no other boss killing team comes close to the damage output of this Corrin team. And so that's why I recommend you just have to have one Corrin team, like your 5-man team. Then you can have one team for the guards, towers, which is going to be your Iron Nuke team, and then you're going to have team heroes left over for the passages, because everyone will need some heroes for the passages, because there are a lot of passages on this map. And for the main boss himself, it's the same Corrin Lightbearer team, which I'm going to show you the formation and the heroes to be locking in there. Okay, so we've covered basically the pathing of the boss. Now we're going to talk about the different formations. So number 1, this is your team you're going to be using for the boss battle. Resonating Spell on Corrin has proven to be better than Tide Call Spell. For this boss, you can try both. I don't think there's a huge difference between the 2 of them, but Resonating Spell to power up Corrin's attack even further seems to be better. But you can try Tide Call as well. And in this, you can use 1 copy of Elsa, that's fine. She's just there to spam ultimates to allow Corrin to stack up the Moment of Glory faster. If you don't have Elsa, for example, I would just replace with some other hero, like maybe Cassidy, who can also spam ultimates with this Lightbearer comp. Basically, any other hero that will go into melee range to be buffed up by Rowan's energy generation to rapidly cast ultimates to power up the team. That's basically what you need. Smokey is really important. He provides attack and haste buff for your team. So he's a really good option to be running. He also heals you up, which you might need, because the boss can deal some decent damage. And I have Smokey all the way in the frontmost position so that he can reach everyone right from the beginning of the match. And so that also his ultimate cast can be boosted by the energy of Rowan. That was basically my idea behind Smokey positioning. I think it should be fine. If Smokey is dying for whatever reason, just move him back 1 tile and put Lucius in front of him, and you should be fine too. You need to run Lucius because in the mini bosses as well as the main boss, most importantly the main boss will deal damage to you, and if you cannot shield that damage, then it is going to apply a knock-up effect on you as well. And that is going to reduce your damage output by a lot. But if you have Lucius along with Rowan constantly casting his shield, then Corrin is going to be, basically your whole team will not be getting you knocked up by the boss, and then Corrin will just be free to deal maximum damage, and everyone will be casting their ultimates to power up Corrin even further. So you need Corrin at Mythic Plus for this team. That's really important. Okay, that is the boss team for battle drills. Everyone should lock in this team. This is going to deal like, it deals like 10 times or at least 5 times the amount of damage of any other next best boss team option. So I would just recommend having the 1 team with Corrin at Mythic Plus, and you're going to be fine. If you don't have Corrin at Mythic Plus, I would just recommend have more passages teams and have your tower team with Iron, and then that can be your designated job for the battle drills. And anyone who has Corrin Mythic Plus, they need to run this team or a version of it with like something instead of Elsa if you don't have Elsa. Now, this is the best team for the guard towers. So when they're 5-man towers, basically 5 enemies, this is your best team, because Iron will control them, and then you have all of this AoE damage in the back. And you're gonna have the wild debuff tiles, resonating spell on Prissa. If your Prissa is not very maybe ascended, you could try resonating spell on Caroline instead. But basically, Caroline and Prissa deal the highest damage in these towers. Arden deals some amount of damage, but not as much compared to them, and so he's off the buff tile, but he also controls them, which like keeps your team alive, because there can be some survival issues. And Damien will give you the haste buff for your team, and you're running Smokey in your boss team, so we might as well run Damien in this team. And actually, I think there are some specific guards which kind of wrap around your team, and Damien basically tanks for your team more effectively than Smokey, who would just die. Okay, so there we have the best tower team to be running, so that's already 10 heroes to be locked in. At the beginning, don't lock in your boss team. The boss team will be locked in after you have all 15 slots open in your command center. Before that, you should be locking in your passage teams or your 5-man tower team, because those are going to be important early on. The boss team will only come into play when you unlock the mini bosses or boss. Okay, so this team I use for the passages all the time because a lot of people will have Viperon built up if you've had him on your wish list. Cece as well, doesn't have to be highly ascended, she does pretty well. And then Igor, he doesn't have to be highly ascended, you can run him. If you don't have him, you can run Sylvina. Basically, with the buff tiles of this season, you're not going to have really any issue clearing this. And you want to clear the enemy passages, so these are the small like ×5, ×10 things you're going to clear around the map. You want to clear them within 30 seconds because then you're going to get maximum stamina refunded to you. If you clear them within 45 seconds, you also get stamina refunded, but not quite as much. So try to clear within 30 seconds. And you can just use a team of 3 heroes. It should be enough for you. But if you need to add more to clear within 30 seconds, that's fine as well. You can add like Thorn, Sylvina or something. And you can replace Igor for Sylvina if you want. But Igor tanks for your team. He also jumps around dealing damage, and his ultimate also deals damage. And I just go for the Verdant spell because, I don't know, the class-based buff seems pretty valuable to me. Right from the beginning of the match. Because you have limited time in this match. Because you want to clear within 30 seconds. Of course, you can also use this team. This team is very effective. A lot of people will have these heroes ascended. You'll be able to like easily clear within 30 seconds with this team. However, then it is eating away at your guard tower team, because all of these heroes are used for that team as well. So that's just the thing to keep in mind. But you can definitely use this for passages as well. And then another team I kind of came up with for passages, Lily May would do well with Rainstorm Ballet. Sylvina does pretty well, pretty high attack speed and killing things quickly. And Thorian can damage effect kill them. I think this would also work for passages as another team if you want. Now it's awkward because the problem is you can use 3-man teams, but you cannot have 2 3-man teams within 5 hero slots. So like, if you're going to slot in, and I always recommend you should slot in this Iron Nuke team if you have him, and then basically you can only come up with one other passage team. And even if you're using 3-man teams or 5-man teams, it doesn't really make a difference because you still can only use one more team, right? So you can easily put a 5-man team like Sylvina Thorn can be added to this passages 1 team, for example, just to help you make sure you clear within 30 seconds, and then just have a full 5-man team because it's just awkward. I wish they would have basically 16 hero slots instead of 15, because then you could have 2 of these 3-man passage teams. You could have one of your Iron Nuke team for the guard towers, and then you could have one boss team for the actual boss. But because you have 15 slots, it's just so awkward. Like, even if you're using these 3-man teams, you still have 2 slots to do nothing with, because 2 heroes can't do anything on their own. You have to deploy at least 3 heroes into a map. Okay, but anyway guys, hopefully that was helpful, and good luck with battle drills this round. The most important thing is just to clear the boss 1 time to get the diamond rewards, and then you're basically consider yourself done. You don't have to go beyond that unless you're competing for top ranks, which there's no real reason to do that. And but just try to attack every day, because when you attack in battle drills, you have a chance of dropping that key to open the chest, which you can get some minor rewards from, as well as you want to get all of your first time rewards, like the epic recruitment invite letters. I think you can get up to 5. Those are really important to get, and you need to attack in battle drills at least frequently enough to unlock all of those. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.